Yes, now we'll discuss about the thoracic cavity and pleura. First of all, we'll make a diagram of the coronal section and horizontal section of the thoracic region. So here is coronal section. This is diaphragm. Here is position of lung. This is lung. Here is position of clavicle. Here lies first rib. This is level of and here is this is the clavicle. If you cut under section, horizontal section, so this is a horizontal section. This is anterior part, this is posterior part. Here is position of so in thoracic cavity, here is thoracic wall, these are the ribs, here lies ribs. Thoracic wall, lecture on the thoracic wall is already uploaded. So you can see the lecture of the thoracic wall. This is thoracic cavity. The cavity lies within the thoracic wall. So here is thoracic wall, here is thoracic cavity. This thoracic cavity mostly it is filled by two lungs. Here is one lung, this is right, this is left lung. Right and left lung. Left, right lungs. And between these two lungs, this portion here, This part is mediastinum. So these are two lungs, and this part is mediastinum. So this part is mediastinum. So this part is mediastinum. In this mediastinum, several structures are present: heart, thoracic duct, trachea, esophagus. So all these structures present here. This is mediastinum. These are the two lungs. The lungs are covered by two layers of the pleura, parietal and visceral layer. So pleura is covered by pleura, and pleura has parietal layer and visceral layer. Visceral layer is also known as pulmonary pleura. Developmentally, the parietal pleura develops from somatopleuric. It develops from somatopleuric part of lateral plate medulla. Lateral plate medulla. So it develops from the somatopleuric. And this visceral develops from splenopleural. Splenopleural part of the lateral plate medulla. This somatopleuric development structure is parietal. It is pain sensitive, and this splenopleuric derivative visceral layer is pain insensitive. It is not sensitive with the pain. And like peritoneum, this pleura is made up of flattened cells. These cells are mesothelium. So these cells are mesothelium, which forms the pleura. Parietal layer and visceral layer. Parietal layer. This is parietal layer here. Parietal layer is attached to endothoracic fascia. Here is thoracic wall, and it is connected with this wall by endothoracic fascia. Here is endothoracic fascia, and this layer is also attached with the diaphragm. So it is attached to diaphragm here. Adherent to endothoracic fascia. So this is parietal layer. Parietal layer is pain sensitive layer, and it develops from the somatopleuric part of the lateral plate medulla. At the site of the hilum, this is hilum, at the root of the lung. Here, this is continuous with the visceral layer. So this is parietal layer. Here is continuous with the visceral layer. This is visceral layer here. Yellow color here. It is visceral layer. Visceral layer is adherent with the lung. it covers the surface of the lung, and also where fissures are formed, it also covers the fissure of the lung. Like this. Here, if here is fissure, then it passes and cover the surface and fissures, goes into fissure like this. So this is visceral layer. So inner layer is visceral layer. Both these layers are continuous. Here you can see the parietal layer and this is parietal layer and visceral layer continuous at the root of the lung. Here at the root of lung, you can see this is the root of lung. If you make lung here, this is root. This part is this part. You are saying from medial side. This is root. Here, these are two pulmonary veins. Here is pulmonary artery, bronchus. So here lies bronchus. So these structures are present. Here you can see this part is fold of the this part. This part is where two layers continuous with each other, parietal and visceral layer. So parietal and visceral layer continuous here with each other. So this part. This layer here folds inferiorly or extend beyond the root of the lung. This is the root of lung, and these foldings extend inferiorly beyond the root of lung. This portion is known as pulmonary ligament. This is actually, this part is pulmonary ligament. Here you can see the loose connective tissue and lymphatics are present here. It provides some space. You can see this is reserved space during exercise when venous blood flow is increased. So this space is required for dilatation of this veins. So this space is used for the helping in the dilatation of these two veins, pulmonary veins. So this is pulmonary ligament. So pulmonary ligament is found here, root. This is diagram of the root. Another thing, this parietal layer, this parietal pleura, according to position, it is divided into several parts. The part which lies here in the neck region, this part, distance from here to here is about first rib to about 5 cm. From medial part of medial 1/3 of clavicle, if you see the height of apex is about 2.5 cm. So from here to apex 2.5 cm, from first rib it is about 5 cm. So this is cervical region. So this pleura can be divided to cervical part. This is cervical part. Here is costal pleura because it is related to the ribs. Here is this pleura, diaphragmatic pleura. This is diaphragmatic pleura. And this portion from here to here, this is mediastinal pleura. This is mediastinal pleura. So this is mediastinal pleura, this part, from here to here. This is mediastinal pleura. So bilateral pleura is divided into cervical, costal, diaphragmatic, and mediastinal pleura. Now you can see there is here between parietal and visceral pleura there is space. This is known as pleural cavity. This is pleural space or pleural cavity. Sorry, pleural space. In case of pleural effusion, here fluid is collected and removal of the fluid is known as paracentesis thoracis. This is known as paracentesis thoracis. So removal of the fluid from the pleural space is paracentesis thoracis. This is known as paracentesis thoracis. So this is removal of this space. And this fluid is usually accumulated, usually stored at the site of a recess. So here between these two layers there is a recess. This recess between the costal layer, costal part and diaphragmatic part. So this is costodiaphragmatic recess. So costodiaphragmatic recess, its length of this recess is about 5 centimeter and it extends from the 8th to 10th rib, level of 8th to 10th rib. So this part will extend from the 8th to 10th rib. This is costodiaphragmatic recess. And here is another recess. Here you can see this is parietal pleura, here is visceral pleura. This pleural space, and here is another recess. This recess is known as, this is costal and this is mediastinal surface. This costal surface, mediastinal surface. In this diagram, this surface of the parietal pleura is costal surface. And this surface is mediastinal surface. So between costal and mediastinal surface, this is costo-mediastinal pleura. And this pleura, costo-mediastinal recess. The recess, here is costodiaphragmatic recess and costomediastinal recess. These recess provides space for the expansion of the lung during deep inspiration. So this is costomediastinal recess and costodiaphragmatic recess. Now, arterial supply. Here, the parietal pleura is supplied by intercostal artery. Here, intercostal artery. As you know, in each intercostal space, this is intercostal space. There are two ribs and between these, this is space. Here, vessels are lying in cast of vein, artery, and nerve. So vein, artery, nerve, vein, artery, and nerve. So this artery gives supply to this intercostal artery gives supply to this parietal pleura, and also this gives supply to the peripheral part of this diaphragmatic pleura. Venous drainage is same through intercostal veins. These are the intercostal veins. So venous drainage by intercostal vein. Nerve supply through the intercostal nerves. So intercostal nerves of the space give supply to the parietal pleura. These are pain sensitive. And also to lateral half part of the diaphragmatic pleura up to this area. So this part and this part is supplied by VAN, artery, intercostal artery, intercostal nerve, and intercostal veins. Mediastinal is supplied by here, this mediastinal, and this part, central part up to this level, central part of diaphragmatic surface. It is supplied by arteries, pericardiophrenic artery. Pericardiophrenic artery here gets supply. Pericardiophrenic artery. Venous drainage is same. Pericardiophrenic veins. And nerve supply. Nerve supply, phrenic nerve. So this area is supplied by phrenic nerve up to this area. Phrenic nerve. Lymphatics also goes into the intercostal lymph node. Posteriorly and anteriorly intermammary lymph node. So intercostal lymph node, intermammary lymph node. Now this visceral layer, which is known as pulmonary pleura. Visceral layer is pulmonary pleura. Its nerve supply is autonomic nerve from T2 to T5 sympathetic and parasympathetic vagus. Arterial supply through the branches of branchial artery. Arterial supply. And lymphatic drainage to tracheobronchial group of lymph nodes lies here. So tracheobronchial group of lymph nodes. So these are the nerve supply, arterial supply, venous drainage, lymphatic drainage of the parietal and visceral pleura. Here is clinical importance: pleural effusion, pleurisy, empyema. These are the clinical conditions associated with this. Here, pneumothorax, hydropneumothorax. If air is here, pneumothorax. Hydrothorax, water is collected, and this is process by which fluid can be removed, that is paracensis thoracis. It is usually done in 6 intercostal space in mid-axillary line. So this is all about the thoracic cavity and pleura.